The owner of Blue Horizon Airline stood unnoticed in the chaotic terminal of JFK Airport, wearing a plain white t-shirt and old sneakers. To everyone else, Marcus Taylor was just another traveler, but in reality, he was a billionaire with a mission. A quiet observer in his own company, Marcus was there not to enjoy luxury, but to uncover the truth about how his airline treated those who weren't at the top. Moments later, he witnessed a frustrated mother being brushed aside by a dismissive agent, and a young man unfairly targeted for an additional search. The smiles in the VIP lounge felt hollow as he watched passengers judged by appearances instead of dignity. Stepping forward at check-in, Marcus was met with veiled skepticism from a flight attendant who smirked at his modest outfit. "Are you sure you're in the right line?" she asked, her tone dripping with doubt. Marcus, calm but resolute, handed her his first-class ticket, aware that this moment was bigger than one rude encounter. What started as a simple observation was quickly becoming a battle against bias and systemic flaws. By the time his flight lifted off, Marcus knew one thing. He couldn't remain a silent observer any longer. Join new real-life stories as we uncover Marcus's shocking journey to confront the corruption hidden in his own airline, and witness the fight to transform an empire from within. Marcus Taylor had built Blue Horizon Airlines from nothing, a symbol of opportunity and fairness in a cutthroat industry. Yet, as he walked unnoticed through the bustling terminal of JFK, the glaring disparities in treatment were impossible to ignore. Lines of weary travelers stretched endlessly in economy, while VIPs breezed through check-in with warm smiles from the staff. This wasn't the company he envisioned. Approaching the first-class counter in his casual attire, Marcus found himself face-to-face with Amanda Walters, a flight attendant whose smile was polished but hollow. Her skeptical eyes darted to his ticket. "Are you sure this is the right line?" she asked, her voice tinged with condescension. "Yes," Marcus replied evenly, his calm exterior masking the simmering frustration beneath. Amanda took her time verifying his ticket, her deliberate slowness signaling more than procedural thoroughness. Marcus clenched his jaw but kept his composure. He had seen enough. This wasn't about him but about a culture that judged people based on appearances. Settling into his first-class seat, Marcus watched Amanda interact warmly with other passengers, all fitting the unspoken mold of what she deemed VIP. When he raised a polite hand for water, she acknowledged him with a curt nod before prioritizing others. The water arrived late, her movements stiff and impersonal. The small slights piled up, each adding to Marcus's growing awareness of the deeper problem. A commotion broke out in the economy cabin mid-flight. An elderly man had collapsed, and Amanda dismissed the idea of moving him to first class, citing protocol. Marcus stepped in, his voice calm but firm. "This man's health is more important than appearances." Amanda bristled, her authority challenged. "I'm following company guidelines," she snapped. Marcus's frustration boiled over. Then maybe those guidelines need to change. Later, he found a quieter ally in Linda Harper, a junior flight attendant whose genuine care for passengers stood out. When Marcus asked her why she handled things so differently, she hesitated before answering, "I just try to do what's right." But not everyone has that freedom. There's pressure to toe the line, especially under Mr. Klein. Robert Klein. The name echoed in Marcus's mind. Klein was the regional manager overseeing JFK's operations, and his name came up repeatedly in conversations with Linda and others. Employees spoke in hushed tones about favoritism, fear, and the toxic environment he cultivated. "Why hasn't anyone done anything?" Marcus asked Linda. "They're scared," she admitted. "Robert has his favorites, and if you're not one of them, you're expendable." The puzzle pieces began to fall into place. Marcus realized the issues weren't isolated, they were systemic, with roots that ran deep into leadership. What had started as a covert observation was quickly becoming a mission to confront the rot within his company. After landing, Marcus requested a meeting with Klein. In a sleek office overlooking the tarmac, Klein exuded confidence. "What seems to be the issue?" he asked with a practiced smile. Marcus laid it out plainly. "The behavior I've witnessed doesn't align with this company's values." Employees are afraid, and passengers are treated based on appearances rather than respect. Klein's smile faltered but didn't disappear. You're overreacting. These things happen in every company. That doesn't make it acceptable, Marcus replied. I'm not interested in excuses. I'm interested in solutions. Klein's dismissive attitude confirmed Marcus's suspicions. This was a man who thrived on maintaining the status quo, no matter the cost. Returning to his hotel, Marcus devised a plan. He contacted Linda and a few trusted employees, encouraging them to gather testimonies and evidence. Within days, troubling patterns emerged: inflated vendor contracts, financial discrepancies, and employee mistreatment. Klein's influence was as widespread as it was toxic. Armed with evidence, Marcus summoned Blue Horizon's leadership to an emergency meeting. Klein arrived, exuding confidence, oblivious to what was coming. As the meeting began, Marcus stood before the room, a folder of evidence in hand. What I'm about to share may come as a shock to some of you, he began. But it's the reality we must confront if we want to rebuild this company. He detailed the favoritism, intimidation, and financial misconduct that had festered under Klein's leadership. Klein tried to interrupt, but Marcus held firm. This isn't personal. It's about integrity. And that starts with accountability. As Marcus revealed his identity as the owner of Blue Horizon, gasps echoed around the room. Klein's confident facade crumbled, and when Marcus announced his immediate suspension pending a full investigation, Klein stormed out. His influence shattered. The weeks that followed were transformative. Marcus launched the Horizon for All initiative, prioritizing employee voices and equitable treatment. Linda Harper, recognized for her courage and dedication, was promoted to a leadership role. Training programs and anonymous reporting systems were implemented to ensure lasting change. Addressing employees in a company-wide broadcast, Marcus spoke from the heart. This company was built on a promise that everyone matters. We lost sight of that, but today we're taking it back. As Marcus stood in his office that night, overlooking the city lights, he felt the weight of the journey ahead. But for the first time in years he felt hope, not just for Blue Horizon, but for everyone who believed in a brighter, more just future. This was more than a story about fixing an airline. It was a testament to the power of integrity, resilience, and the courage to fight for change. As Marcus gazed out of the towering office window, the city lights below seemed to stretch endlessly, a reflection of the journey ahead. The Blue Horizon he had envisioned was finally within reach, a company that valued people over profit, authenticity over appearances. He thought of Linda Harper's unwavering courage, the exhausted faces of employees who had endured years of silence, and the passengers who had unknowingly revealed the truth about his airline's culture. Each moment had brought him closer to understanding not just the flaws in his company, but his own responsibility to fix them. Marcus wasn't the same man who quietly walked through JFK disguised as a traveler. He had witnessed prejudice, uncovered corruption, and confronted it head-on. The lesson was clear. Real leadership isn't about maintaining appearances. It's about standing for what's right, even when it's hard. With determination, Marcus addressed the team one final time. Change isn't easy, but it's necessary. Together, we'll make Blue Horizon a place where everyone feels they belong. As the room erupted in applause, Marcus felt a sense of calm, not from the cheers, but from knowing the mission was now shared. If Marcus's story resonated with you, share this video, leave a comment, and help us grow new real-life stories. Together, let's inspire change and hit 10,000 subscribers.